Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Eric. Eric is from Florida in the USA. So let's see what Eric has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Eric. How are you?
Good. How are you? You can hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Absolutely. So how's your day going so far?
I just finished working, so that's good.
Me too. Welcome to the club. Just done now for work for today.
Oh, that's good. What do you do for a living?
I work in a law firm as a receptionist.
Oh, nice.
How about you?
I do surgical and anesthesia software for a local hospital chain.
Right. So tell me a little bit about your job.
Let's see. It's kind of an expert at clinical workflows and then integrating it with software components and bundles that come from vendors. So it was a lot to learn. I didn't have a background with surgery and the perioperative areas. So, but it's fun and it keeps me engaged and I really like it.
Amazing. Eric, tell me where you're from.
Born in Georgia, moved to a small Cuban community when I was a kid, about 5. So I lived in Hialeah for most of my life, and then just went to New York and came back home to Florida.
Wow, you've been around traveling.
Yeah, yeah.
And where your family are based?
I have part of my family in New York and part of them in Tampa, and then another part in Georgia. So kind of all spread out.
Great. Okay, Eric. So before we start our journey, William the Magic Box, I would like to start the interview with a phrase that I saw on your Facebook page and got my attention straight away. It says, "I am a thoughtful artist, analytical dreamer with only a fear of fear itself." Tell me a little bit about this phrase.
I figured it was a good way to kind of summarize who I am as a person. I'm an artist first. That creative streak has always been in me since I was a kid. I am also kind of the opposite of an artist. I'm super analytical, which comes in handy with my work. So I guess I flex kind of both of those spectrums. And then that final part was kind of just how my personality is. When I'm afraid of something, once I kind of recognize it as a fear, I will jump at it. So even doing this interview is a bit fearful for me because I'm a very private person. So just had to recognize that was a fear and then just kind of resolve it.
Great. I'm glad to know that you took the challenge. I love it for the interview.
Yeah, definitely a challenge.
Amazing. I think sometimes when, as you said, I totally agree with you. I think fear, it's a great feeling if you face it and you kind of go a little bit contradictory. You know what I mean? You kind of face it. Okay, let me go through that. Let me see why I'm feeling this way.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, Eric, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Sure.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my box full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question. Ready?
Okay.
Let's do it. Yes, please. Show me your moves. I love it. Okay, Eric, so just before we start the journey through the game, if there is a question that you don't want to answer, you don't want to talk about, I always can change, okay? It's all very friendly.
Okay.
First question for you is, where is the most exotic place have you ever been?
The most exotic place I've ever been. Probably hiking in southern western part of New York. Although to some it might seem exotic, to me it was mountains and ravines and waterfalls and really beautiful forests. So you got to just hike and walk, and it just was magical.
Amazing. And when was that?
Let's see, that was in my 20s, so that was a while ago. Yeah.
Cool. Great memories always.
Always.
Thanks to Eric, before the next question, tell me what do you like the most about your job and what's the most challenging part in your opinion?
What I like the most is that it's always changing, and there are so many components to how a patient enters or leaves a hospital system and gets treatment. And then what I find the most challenging are how the organization manages all the different components of how we care for a patient, from the medical devices or how they go onto the network. How do we protect patient information and yet still provide those services to the patient? So it's definitely a balance.
I see. Next question for you is, what is the one food that you could eat for the rest of your life?
It'd have to cinnamon rolls. I think so. I don't think I could live without a cinnamon roll. So yeah.
Do you like cooking?
I do like cooking, and I bake. So I do both.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
And what do you like to cook the most?
If I'm being healthy, then maybe like shredded chicken, salsa, and I'll make kind of like fajitas out of it. And if I'm being a little bad, then I'll make lasagna or antipasta. And I grew up in a Sicilian family. My step family is Sicilian, so a lot of that influence came into my life.
Very good. Yeah. Next question. Let's do it. Eric from Florida. Next question is, do you think your priorities have changed since you were younger?
Oh, absolutely. I think every year brings a part where you kind of look back at yourself and see how you've grown. The core values are still the same. Who I want to be and who I create through my actions and my thoughts. There's some consistency, but life and events show you the places where you faltered or where you haven't quite met that ideal that you had in your head. Can be discouraging at times, but it's the part that keeps me grounded and human and striving to grow.
Tell me one of your biggest priorities that when you were younger, that was one of the top one for you, that it has changed, completely changed for you at the moment when you look back?
I don't know, because actually I kind of do a lot of things that I enjoyed as a kid. I still, okay, if I was to do it, maybe drawing. It was something that I loved to do as a kid, and it is not something I do as an adult. My art styles have changed to be more abstract, to be more fluid, and how I defined art as a kid was almost like photorealism, and how I define art as an adult is kind of that emotional weight and content, which I don't get from photorealism.
Very good. Next question. Okay, Eric, next question for you is, tough question now. Let's say someone come up to you and say, Eric, you need to remove from your phone forever, yeah? YouTube or social media, all of them together, like Facebook, Instagram, all together, or YouTube. Which one that would be and why?
I guess I would get rid of social media, as hard as that would be. YouTube is a place where I get to learn. And so I use it all the time to research. Social media, though, is a challenge for me. It's kind of addicting to kind of get a view into somebody else's life that you consider a friend. But it's something at times I've tried to limit, and I've been more successful, and other times not so much.
I think nowadays our phone is like an extension of our body. You know what I mean? It's there all the time. It's kind of almost impossible to, put on the side. It's always there.
Yeah. And then coupled with my work, it can never really leave my hands, so it kind of makes you feel like when I'm on vacation, I will take the phone and put it away in a closet or in a safe, just to keep myself from it.
Amazing. Next question.
All right.
Before the next one, Eric, tell me a little bit about your art, your passion. Tell me a little bit about it.
So I took, in college, I took about 3 years of bronze sculpture making. So my art style was very much in like a 3-dimensional space. And then understanding kind of the thickness of the molten metal and how I could achieve the details I wanted, but still dealing with the material itself and its limitations. So the first year was tragic. I made a bunch of crap. And the second year, I was improving. But it always was a battle in my head of what I imagined I wanted to create as a creator and what the materials would let me do. And then lately, it's just kind of progressed into painting again. I go through my phases. So definitely with some of the fluid art that I've seen, being able to mix different chemicals together to dilute the paint and then cause kind of gradient effects. That really captures my interest because I'm able to kind of go with more ocean, kind of those water interpretations of art. So I use that a lot.
And do you organize when you're gonna paint, when you're gonna do your art? Do you kind of organize yourself through your schedule, or it just can happen anytime when you feel like inspired to do it?
My art is very connected to what's going on in my life. So I lost my little brother in September, and I have not painted since. So it has definitely been a couple months, and I wonder like when I'll be ready to do it again. But it's also something that I understand is always a part of me, and that my body and my mind are just getting to a place where it will tap into that, So whatever is going on around me has an influence in my art and in my expression. And I think at this point in time, I'm not ready to see what the subconscious wants to show me, or the changes it's had in my style. But that's not to say that I won't be doing it soon.
See, I'm sorry to hear about your brother's pass. And do you think that so one point you just waiting to come not genuinely this feel okay, I'm gonna do something now, or you just don't feel ready yet to do it?
I think it's just getting to a place where I want to tap into that emotional energy, and being open to what comes from it. And at this point, I kind of have a feeling that I'm still working through the grief and the loss. And I'm not sure if I want a painting to show that to the world. It's still private to me, and it's still something I'm working my way through. So I think that's it.
Right. Next question is, if you met someone sad in the street, what would be your approach to this person? What would you say?
So if I met somebody sad?
Yeah.
Okay. Usually to listen is to ease a burden. So probably the first thing I would offer is just to hear what's going on. Sometimes that's enough to lighten the weight of a person and to help them on. I don't believe in telling anybody what to do with their life. I think that has a level of arrogance to it. So I try to shy away from that. But I think sharing similar stories, empathizing, and listening are probably the ways that I go about lightening somebody's mood.
Amazing. Yes, I think sometimes they just need to be listened. They just need some attention. You know what I mean? I think some people, when they are in that, mood or facing a situation like that, sometimes just want to be heard. Just want to be listened, for sure. Ready for another one?
I'm ready for another one.
Let's do it. Eric, before the next question, tell me a little bit about your tattoos. I can see some on your arms.
So I guess being an artist, I see everything as a canvas, including myself, much to my family's dismay. So my parents didn't love them. They still don't love them. But it's every time I go through a critical experience in my life, I kind of create an art piece based off of it, and then work with a tattoo artist to put it on my body. And it's always a reminder of my history and where my vision of where I'm going. And they're all animal based. So I have a zoo going on my body.
I like that. How old were you when you had the first one, and what was that?
I had the first one when I was 18, as soon as I could. And that was a dog. And it was just a reminder to myself not to be subservient, not to be somebody's pet or dehumanized by it. It had a meaning from what I went through in my youth. So that was just a reminder to me about kind of asserting my own humanity.
And which one is the latest one?
The latest one is a hawk that's on my back, and it spans from shoulder to shoulder. And that is just a reminder to fly again, right?
Good one. Wow. Next question is, if you could ask for a miracle, what that would be?
Miracle. Probably to have my brother back. I think I would use that. Yeah.
Oh. Ready for another one?
Yep, I'm ready.
Let's do it, Eric. Let's do it. Next question for you is, what is the most dramatic argument you ever had?
Oh. It was an argument where somebody told me I had to save them. And when I said, I can't save you, you have to save yourself. I can support you, but I can't fight this for you. There was no understanding. I could tell they heard, I won't help you, when I said, I can't help you. I can't fight your demons for you, but I can support you in the ways that I know how. But that was a dramatic argument, and it probably will live with me for a long time, because I think every young boy dreams and models themselves after our heroes, our superheroes. So for me, that was difficult. It's difficult, but an important lesson.
Absolutely. Everything counts at the end of the day, I think.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Next one. Okay, Eric, next question for you is, what is the weirdest dream you ever had?
Wow. It's got to be kind of being almost like a Robin Hood in a forest, and it just was full of these unusual characters and an adventure, and I didn't really understand where it was coming from. Maybe my love of Green Arrow and some of my superhero comics, but it was definitely a strange dream that's kind of left a strange image in my mind.
Actually, again, when I was checking your profile a little bit, I saw the comic books that it was there. So it relates to that as well, do you think? Tell me a little bit about.
So when I was learning how to be a good man as a boy, I would model myself after these kind of impossible heroes. Maybe you don't have to have that supernatural power, but the morals were always present. And I think I'm really blessed in that I grew up in a time, early 80s, where there were still those values being portrayed in animation and in the comic books. And I was obsessed. So I was a huge X-Men fan, a huge Spider-Man fan, and Aquaman, and it just never went away. So even in my adult life, I still read my comic books. I still enjoy the art, and I enjoy the storytelling behind it and the journey of a hero, sometimes good, sometimes bad. But I feel like I shaped my character a lot around these ideals that were portrayed in the book, in the comic books.
Which X-Men movies, which one is your favorite character ever? Like
Colossus. Yeah, the one that turns organic steel. He is my favorite. Both in that I want to physically be that massive muscular giant, which I haven't made it there yet. And also, he always had this loving, nurturing side of him. So I just enjoyed his character. It's very much like Superman. There wasn't something you couldn't love about it.
Saying that, I watched the latest the Spider-Man, like 2-3 weeks ago, when they get three of them together. I just found fascinating. So I just did that.
The multiverse is something, because I used to teach math and science. So the idea of the multiverse has been part of my science understanding for a while. And I love how Hollywood plays off of these ideas from physics, theoretical physics. And to me, it just was exciting to see it come into so many different shows. And they're just playing with these variations, which, yeah.
Great. Next question. Eric, before the next one, being a gay guy, did you always have the support of your family?
No. Oh, absolutely not. Growing up, there was a lot of physical reprimanding for being the way I was. There were a lot of name callings using the F word to me. This was within my family and those that I looked up to. So it became a part where I really tried to hide who I was. And my family went as far as to even remove me from any art and music classes because they thought that would encourage me to be gay. My mother worked with gay co-workers. She worked in a department store. And she would speak positively of them. So if there was a person that had even a slight bit of positive words, it would be my mom. So she was the first person I came out to when I was ready, which was 19 years old by the time I came out.
And the day when you came out, did something happen that you said, okay, I'm going to come out, or you just felt genuinely, okay, that's the day, I just feel comfortable talking to my mom? Tell me a little bit, talk me through the day if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was 18, I tried to date a young lady to see if I could push myself in a direction that I thought I was supposed to go. And when I got to the point that I could not even kiss her, and she was very upset with me, I realized this isn't something I can work through. So it kind of was a crashing realization that there is no playing straight for me. My attraction is to a particular energy, and it isn't what I'm getting. Maybe had I met a woman that provided a different energy, something could have been different. But I've known I was gay since I was in elementary school. So probably around second, third grade, I started to know that I was attracted to boys, whatever that meant at that young age. But to me, it just meant kind of hanging around them and being near them. So when I decided I could not do that, once that relationship, if you could even call it a relationship, broke up, I had a long talk with myself, lots of nights thinking and worried. And then I just decided I was going to have to accept it. So I came out even before I had my first kiss or my first boyfriend. I just decided first to tell somebody. So to tell my mother over the phone. I was in college at the time. And she was like, I've always known. So I'm just proud that you're telling me. Oh. And I said, that's great. Yeah. So it wasn't terrible. I didn't have like don't come home and this kind of
drama.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I think it's, my God, you're talking now 19 years old, like being so brave to come out and face it, and wow, amazing, fascinating. Next question is, what's the worst advice have you ever given?
The worst advice I've ever given: to ignore something that shouldn't have been ignored. I think even I struggle with that sometimes in relationships. You pick and choose your battles. You don't want to nag about every little thing that bothers you, and you want to let go of the small things that are just maybe an annoyance. But I think a friend had asked me advice one time on an issue in the relationship, and I just said, believe what they tell you and have trust and faith in that. And it didn't turn out very well. And I've had a taste of that in my own medicine. So I've believed what somebody told me, and it didn't turn out so well. But
at least came from a good place, for sure.
Yeah. If you can't trust the person you love, then what is the quality of that relationship? Is it really that strong? It's something I'm even thinking about now. If I decide to date again, what will be the part where how much trust is too much trust?
Absolutely. And being gay in your city you're living now, it's approachable. It's easy to be gay there.
Oh yeah, I live in Wilton Manors right now, and to me it's like a little San Francisco. It's a high gay population.
Wow.
Yeah, and I just moved here about a year ago. So I have visited here. I lived in Miami and I would drive up. So for 6 or 7 years, I've known of Wilton and I've been here a lot, just to the bars and to the social gathering events. But now it's nice where I can just go meet somebody for coffee or for drinks or for dinner. Maybe it is overwhelming for some because it's such a high gay population.
Wow.
But it's very comforting to me.
Right. And that's one of the main reasons that you're living there, or not just because you find your place there or because of work?
No. So most of my work is in the Miami area, although I get to work remote. So I have like my setup here for when I'm working. And then it's more because I like the vibe. Mm-hmm. In Miami, things can be very labels. It's what car do you drive? How much do you make? It's kind of that vibe. And in Wilton, I get a much more relaxed, down to earth, less about the possessions. But maybe that's just my interpretation of it, but I like that vibe.
So Miami, how far is Miami from Wilton Manors?
Well, on a Saturday night or a Friday night, if I'm going to go down to the clubs, it can be like about an hour away. But on a good day, it's like 45 minutes. Yeah, it's not bad.
All right. Eric, I have 3 questions left for you, okay? Let's do it. Next question for you is, if you could stay any age for the rest of your life, what age would that be and why?
I liked the way I physically looked the best when I was about 33. So I guess I would pick that from a vanity perspective. I like who I am on the inside now. So it depends what I was going for. Right?
So right now, at the moment, you would go for the exact age you are right at the moment.
If I was going for the learning and who I've been, yeah, it would be the person I am right now.
Good. 2 questions left.
Okay.
Let's do. Before the next one, so let's say that I will come to Wilton Manors, yeah, for the very first time. Where is the must to go? What should I see? Tell me a little bit about.
What I love about this city is the number of gay bars within a small proximity of each other is astounding. And they cater to different demographic groups, different vibes. So there's the Eagle, which is more into leather and fetish. There is Hunters, which seems to be more into kind of that 80s, 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s vibe. You have Drink, which is just a polished, it's my favorite place to go and have a drink. Just a very polished, refined, high standard drink. And then there's Alibis, there's the Manor. The Manor is if you want a more youthful scene and you want to cater to kind of the large events, the production events, the Manor is great.
See, just tell me something, Eric. The last time I went to the US was 4 years ago, 3 years ago, more or less, and I went to Boston. And from Boston, I went to a city that I never heard before. It's the gayest place I've ever been in my life. Provincetown, yeah. It's something like that over there, like in Florida. Your city is more or less the same, like very gayish.
So I've never been to Provincetown, but I've heard of it, and it does sound like exactly what Wilton is like. Yes, maybe you're gonna get the cute, kind of Cape Cod style homes that you won't get here, but otherwise the vibe seems to be the same.
I see. Next question is, what does happiness mean to you?
To me, happiness is peace with myself, peace with my growth, to be loved and to share love freely. Just all of those things. And it's my job to make my life happy. It is not anybody else's job. So I know that weight is on my shoulders. So even if I'm going through a tough project at work or something stressful like the loss of my brother, it is my job to find my sources of joy and my job to make sure they are part of my life and lift me up. So, yeah. And of course, friends help.
Saying that, do you believe that happiness is a choice?
Yes. Yes. I think in any environment, and believe me, I've been in some bad environments, it is a choice to find the good and to find the things that will fuel you or feed you and help you move on to a better place. So I'm not saying stay in a bad situation and find scraps of happiness there. I'm saying find the scraps and move on. You can find it anywhere.
Good one. Ready for the last question?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Eric, before the last question, as you know, the world has been upside down since the last 2 years regarding the COVID crisis, yeah?
Yeah.
Looking back through this period, what's the most positive lesson or message that you took out of this challenge journey so far?
Life is not guaranteed for anybody. Entire families can be decimated in a very short period of time. That does cause trauma to the survivors. I know a few where they have lost 3 or 4 family members within a small window of time. I hope that society and our understanding of mental health is that we are proactively seeking to aid people that have gone through that. That trauma will never go away. And it must be managed in a way that person finds joy and finds fulfillment in life. Otherwise, that trauma is going to result in actions that may further hurt the family. So that's where my concern is. It's with the children that maybe are still afraid to go out. It's with the families that are afraid to lose another member. And in recognizing that it is a serious PTSD or something similar to that. It's a serious trauma and challenge, and people need to address it. I might be criticized because I don't let that fear drive me. That's kind of why I had that quote. If I'm afraid of something, I will go out. If I die tomorrow from COVID, I die tomorrow from COVID. I've lived responsibly for a good year and a half or so. And then after that, I started to put my mental health and my living as a priority over the virus. But that's a personal choice. Yeah.
Great. Ready for the last question?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. What has been the happiest point of your life?
The happiest point of my life. I was in a loving relationship. I was probably on cloud 9. Work was going great. We had just bought a home. I think that moment I would love to stretch for an eternity, because I think that was probably the happiest moment of my life. But it's funny to me, that moment is in finding a partner and in finding somebody to share the journey with. Whereas for other people, it may be something different.
Good one. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words and just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game.
Let's start with family.
Caring.
Money.
Necessary.
One word for love.
Hopeful.
Life.
Challenging.
How about sex?
Necessary. Healing.
It can go on and on the list, yeah?
Yeah, I can think of a lot of things.
Politics.
Aversion.
One word for religion.
Spiritual.
Fear.
Unnecessary.
Friendship.
Vital.
How about desire?
Chemistry.
Regret.
Trash.
Success.
Hard work.
One word for wish.
Love.
One word for happiness.
Me.
Good. One word for Georgia state.
Peaches.
Why?
I have not, I know it's the fruit of the state, but I have not had a peach that tastes anything like what I get in Georgia.
Wow. One word for New York.
Apples. Can you tell I'm on food now? I must be getting hungry.
Now I'm gonna say Florida. I'm gonna just expect which fruit you're gonna say if I say Florida.
Cuban men.
One word for USA.
Divided.
And the last one now, artist. One word.
Creator.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend, tell me the most beautiful thing about Eric, and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What your best friend would say.
He would say that I am loving and kind. And the thing that he would lectures me about is my confidence, that I have to improve it.
Interesting, Eric. You come across a very confident person.
That's good. I guess that's the fake it till you make it.
No, I was checking a little bit your profile of your Instagram. I was like, now, of course, never judge the book by the cover, but I just want you look your profile a little bit just to get a vibe from you. And I was like, he's a very confident guy. He comes across.
And I think that's where I encounter my fear, maybe with body image or with the pictures that I take. Once I notice that fear, then I will take a picture and I will post it. And I will kind of combat that negative self-talk. So it can be misleading to others. A lot of people have told me they don't understand how I can post what I do, but still have kind of these hang-ups, but I do.
In saying that as well, Eric, this side that looking at your profile, you come across a very confident person, but talking to you as well, your voice, it just passes this calmness, like being calm and talking to you again. Since the beginning, you start talking, I was like, wow, the tone of your voice is very, very peaceful.
It came in handy when I was teaching children. I had to teach first grade through fifth grade, math and science. People have told me that. I think it reflects I didn't come from a calm place in my life. And so it has such priority. I've infused it into the way that I speak and just the way I think. But I appreciate it. Thank you for that.
No, it's just a genuine and sincere compliment. Ready for to ask me a question now?
Yes.
Yeah. So before we go clubbing with you, you are the kind of guy who'll be dancing on the dance floor. You'll be the kind of the guy like just watching.
Depends on how many drinks you give me. I lose my shyness the more I drink.
Okay, Eric, you can ask me a question now.
If you had to impart words of wisdom to this world before you left, what would they be?
Wow, very good question. My God. Right, I think, Eric, when it was the first thing that came to my mind, it's I would say willpower. One of the things like believe, in yourself, like you can do anything literally. If you put yourself, in a mindset where you can. It doesn't matter what you want to do, doesn't matter what your dreams are, but if you believe in yourself always, if you have this mindset of go after it, I think it's one of the words that I always live by. Willpower can be so, it can take so many things, in one bubble that. I would say willpower. I think that if you have this mindset, or at least try to, perceive that, I think you can go anywhere and you can do anything, and you can, you just can be a good person as well. I think everything you can, if you just have this mindset of believing yourself and always think that you literally can, can change a lot of things, and you can do a lot as well if you believe in yourself. You have this mindset. I think that will be my answer. Yeah,
it's great. It goes along with mine, which would be like perseverance or grit, right? The ability to just go for it. So I get it. That's a great answer.
That's their way of approaching life for sure.
Absolutely.
Eric, did you enjoy the interview? Did you like it?
I did enjoy the interview. It wasn't as scary as I thought.
I was about to ask, are you feel more relaxed now? Are you feeling more relaxed?
A little bit.
By the way, thank you so much for taking the time for the interview. Thanks for being so approachable on social media when I approached you. Very sweet, very kind as well. Thanks for being so open and sharing those moments in your life. I think people watch the interview, they will appreciate that, because as you know, so many people, we go through a lot of hard times in life and beautiful times as well. But sometimes just listen to someone, you know, being open and talking about. I think that's it's a plus. People appreciate a lot that, and they can see they're not alone out there. There's always someone facing beautiful moments, and at the same time as well, challenge moments. And I think that's what makes life interesting, spicy a little bit, but interesting as well at the same time. But before you go, Eric, if you can just share a positive message, a positive quote, something that inspires in life.
A positive quote. It takes courage to fail and courage to try again. And that's something I remind myself of all the time.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Eric, thanks so much. Enjoy your day and keep in touch. Thanks so much for the interview. It was a pleasure. Okay?
Thank you so much, William. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.